Welcome to Friday on the Pagan Perspective. It's Subs Week, and this is Yeka. Today we've got a question which can be interpreted as one question or two questions or topics, really, depending on how you look at it. So I'm going to take them as being connected, and they come from, sorry, I'm reading the screen right behind the camera, WeHawk100, and they ask if we know of any other channels or video sites that have information on the different Celtic holidays. And then they go on to say that on the 21st of each month that they have a bonfire and people show up for whatever reason, and that they seem to be aware of the date and some sort of meaning behind it. So they ask if we have any suggestions, looking for structure. So the first part is, I don't actually have any sites or channels to suggest to go to because it's not something that I've really done a lot of searching for. And I think that me just going on and Googling it would come up with pretty much the same results that you could come up with. But on that topic, I do have to say that I consider myself, I identify as being a Celtic American, someone whose ancestors were Celtic, and parts of my life that still very much relate with that. So the Celtic holidays are something important to me. But it's not something I was raised with. It's not something that was continued and passed down through my family. So that being said, I'm a little bit skeptical of many of the types of websites that are out there for modern pagans about the Celtic holidays, because I think that there's sometimes a difference between the way that we imagine and relate and feel about what our ancestors celebrated and the actual facts of what they celebrated. I'm not saying one is better than the other or worse or anything like that, but that that a lot of what's out there doesn't actually represent, I don't think, I haven't done a great deal of research on this, but the little bit of exposure I've had, it doesn't necessarily represent what was actually going on. So if you're interested in what the holidays really were and the surviving holidays or practices and that have survived through the years, I would suggest looking at maybe some more scholarly texts, going and looking at some of the universities in some of the Celtic nations, like Cardiff University has a really great Celtic department, and trying to find resources from them about what was actually going on. Now at the same time, that might not be what you're looking for. You might not be looking for what was the actual literal things that they were doing, but you might be looking for more of what is your relationship to the way you feel about your ancestors and the way you feel about the what they represent in terms of your connection to the earth or to the land or to your ancestors, and explore the meaning from, as opposed to what they literally did, to what does it mean to you. So you might want to do that, and I think that the types of things you're going to find online are going to be more in line with that sort of thought than with what was literally happening. Moving on to the second part of this question or topic is about the 21st of each month and how this individual lights a bonfire and people show up and seem to have some idea of meaning and importance of the date, and any suggestions that we might have. So as for the 21st, my understanding of the meaning might be different for many people, but I think what's probably going on is that many of the equinoxes and the solstices, the equal day in length and the shortest and longest day of the year, happen by our calendar somewhere around the 21st, close to the 21st in the months that they occur. So that people might be picking up on that. In terms of suggestions for structures, it probably really depends on who the folks are that are coming to this bonfire, who you are and what your importance is. you might not want to push it too far. You might not want to bring something like religion into it, but you also might. It really depends on who's there. I think encouraging people to make it into a potluck sounds like a great idea, and because bonfires, fire, people around fires really connects very deep, deep in us. I mean, we've been doing this for thousands and thousands of years, and I think that people pick up on that. And there's just something about standing around a fire with a group of people that you're probably feeling, and they're probably feeling too. So I'm sorry I don't have more of a what you should or shouldn't do or anything like that, besides just feel it out. And if they happen to be a group of pagan folk who you might want to be doing some sort of more formal ritual, Ritual Craft is a pretty good book for that. It's a pretty hefty book. I'll put a link to it down there. So yeah, and I guess hope you had a great equinox, and take care. So see you next time.